Hello, my name is Jessica Placencia-Flores. I am a first semester student here with the Urban Leadership Program at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm very excited to be doing a presentation on the water usage in Las Vegas, Nevada, here in the Clark County area. So this was our assignment to do research on a problem and look into data and make to see if the correlation and find out what our information is telling us. So for my presentation, I did look into two different variables. So the first variable that I looked at was the population here in Clark County, Nevada. So here in front of you, you're going to see the difference and the numbers in rising, and this is through the U.S. Census Bureau. So you're going to see the population change throughout the years. And as you can see, it's been rising at a rapid rate within the last few years, and it continues to keep growing. And like we've seen in the last few years, we have been able to see the beautiful growth of our city, and it's thriving. We have a stadium now that's home to the Raiders, and we have not just people coming in as tourists, but now we have that football spirit here with us. So we've definitely have a rise in population as we've seen in the last few years. And then the second variable that I looked at was the total water usage in the Clark County, Nevada area. So in the last few years, you can see from 1989 is when we started getting the numbers of the total water usage in Clark County area. And this data is through the Southern Nevada Water Authority. It does stop at 2014, so there isn't any current numbers for the usage of water. But as you can see, as the years go by, it does rise in numbers. And then as we start going into like the 2004, 2005, and 2010 and 11, there was a slight decline. In the article that I shared by the two authors, it does talk about the policies and changes that were established when we did the 2004 Las Vegas drought. With more people, more water, we can see the relationship there. So if you look at the population, this is the same information, just in a different way. You can see the percentage rise and how it goes up and how it's changed throughout the years, as well as how the water usage goes up and down around the same years. But if you look at this percentage, you can see, so the water usage is the blue dotted lines, and then the population is the green. So as the population rises, the usage of water rises as well. And like I mentioned, we did have some water drought and some policy changes due to advocating and realizing that this water resource needs to be conserved. We did see a decline in water usage, so that does show that creating change and advocating for policies um, does support our community. So I do look forward to seeing the changes within the next few years to see if these policies that have been put into effect have been working or if there still needs more change. So this is actually from the article that I have referenced in my paper. So it does talk, if you can see the consumption from 1996 to 2007, it's definitely changing. Just like I mentioned, there's been a rise of population and a rise of residential areas. You can clearly see the amount of water that we're using, and it's only going to rise with just the building of infrastructures and communities in our area. And so this last image shows you the annual actual numbers of the water usage and populations and the correlation value once I did the formula. So the average correlation for all the population and water usage numbers does come out to 0.9, which does reflect a strong correlation. So it's safe to say that with the rising population, that does affect the water usage. And one thing that we've noticed in the last few years, and just to kind of go off of the experience here living in Las Vegas, Lake Mead is declining. We have been asked to be more conservative with our waters, be more conscious of pools. So there's definitely a lot of things that have been happening here in Las Vegas to make things a little bit better. But take a look at this information, look at the research, and basically do your part for for conserving water. But there's definitely a water shortage in Las Vegas, and just with the rise of water populations and the rise of water usage, it can only get us so far. So definitely conserve water and make sure that we are all doing our part. Thank you.